Good evening, race fans. Umpire here, Black Flag Racing TV. Little Christmassy intro there for you all. It is Monday evening. Monday evening means GR4 lottery. Season 2 of GR4 lottery. We're already on round 3. We know what the 5 cars are. We've got the BMW, we've got the Toyota, we've got the Nissan, we have got the Aston Martin, and we have the other one. I forgot which one it was. The Porsche Cayman, of course. Yes, so all hotting up. We're at Tokyo East clockwise for this race this evening. I think we've got 13 in the lobby. Not quite the full 15 that we were hoping for, but 13 is not a bad number to be getting on a Monday evening this close to Crimby Crimbo. So let's have a quick look at where we stand after the first 2 rounds. There we go. Kevin 77 leads the way, 95 points. He's in that Sylvia. Star Group just behind him in second, also in that Sylvia. Yellow Sausages in the Toyota Supra is third, but will be unable to continue for the next few weeks due to infection in his leg. So get well soon, buddy. Hopefully we'll see you back in the tournament very, very soon. Stormfly in 4th place. Picked up a penalty last week after crashing into Average Tom, which puts him into 4th place. Forza Ferrari in 5th, Aussie Rooster in 6th. He's in the Aston Martin. In fact, all the 3 Aston Martin drivers are all in 5th, 6th and 7th. We've got GMAC in 8th place in the Toyota. Nick John Baker is the highest ranked BMW driver, up in 9th place. With Gridge Troopers in the Sylvia just behind him on 22 points in 10th. Let's have a quick look and see who we've got in the lobby this evening. It is, as you know, it's reverse grid qualifying, or reverse championship qualifying, surely, for this first race. So we'll have all the fast cars at the back and all the slow guys at the front to start off with. So, Stormfly is there. He's in the Cayman Club Sport. We've got Star Groups. We've got Ghost. We've got just resetting the lobby for us, just as we speak. Ready for the race, of course. I'll give you the lineup. Let me go through the qualifying lineup. It will be new race, and if he's here, I don't know if he's here actually. Stonecutter hasn't joined us as yet. He's still got a couple of minutes left before he joins. Bear with me, he's just trying to find the lobby now. So I will give him the details. let's put the track guide on while I sort out getting one more into the lobby. Really complex track this, but very, very fast. You've got this really, really long straight from the start finish line that takes you up the hill, where you sort of drift to this left hand side, looking for about the in between the 150 100 meter board, braking, changing down into third, turning in back on the accelerator, and then a little lift staying in third for this turn here. And then once you're on the power, you're pretty much then going flat again down through this twisty section. And yeah, so you've got a few occasions when you need to lift for some of these, but you don't really brake again until you get down past all this. You go through the tunnel, a little break here, down into fourth, like he does it in fifth, which is really quick to be fair. Yeah, and then you're all the way through, all the way around, little lift here. You don't want to be taking that flat out and clip that wall. You do lift here as well, just to get it turned in, but only slightly. And then the next braking zone really is here, about 50 metre board, changing down into fourth gear, getting it turned in, slight little lift to get round this left-hander, and then you're on the power until the big hairpin at the top of the track. And we are about a minute away from starting, so we'll flick back to the room. But there you go, that's your lap around Tokyo East clockwise. So, qualifying order will be, and it's set from reverse championship order. So Stone Gutter will be on pole with J49 in the Porsche alongside him. Road 2 will be Bandit and Ghost, both in the BMWs. Fubar and Cool Runnings in the Porsche Cayman. on row 3. Row 4 will be Manxman and Grizz Troopers, Toyota and Nissan. Nick John Baker and Stormfly on row 5. Row 6 will be Aussie Rooster and Stargroup, Aston Martin and Nissan. And Kevin 77, the current championship leader, will be at the back of the grid for the start. And we are bang on pretty much. 8 o'clock, so bang on for starting. So I think we jump in and have a little looky see what's occurring. I think see what sort of lap times people are chucking out. That'd be useful, wouldn't it? So it's going to be tricky because although it's a reverse championship order, those start at the back are actually in a slightly better position today because they're going to get a bit more slipstream in that long run down to turn 1, and it is a really long run down to turn 1 here, and they're going to be able to pick up a little bit of slipstream. Good evening, Jason. Should probably focus on the driving, mate, rather than the chat to me. Yeah, you've got that really long run down to turn 1, so those that are starting further back, a little bit of an advantage for them in the fact that they can pick up some slipstream, get down to turn 1 and close up the gap. It's going to be difficult today. I think most of the overtaking is going to be done on the straights with slipstream, because once you get tucked in behind a car, it's really strong hit slipstream. You really can make a big difference, and essentially just scrub off all your downforce and plant the accelerator is really the key around here. And then in the back section, just feather it round those corners. There's Cool Runnings in the Cayman. He's got Stormfly tucked in behind a minute. But the fastest man out there so far in practice has been Manxman with a 2:13.7. I think qualifying time, if we were doing qualifying, would have been around 2 minutes 10. Race pace on the soft tyres is going to be between, I think 2 minute 10, Stormfly just done a 2 minute 10 there, and 2 minute 13 seconds, depending on where you fit within the order of things. But we are ready to start this race. Full starts will be penalised, and let's have a look. So Stonecutter, I love that Guinness livery on that Aston Martin. Very cool. So waiting for the lights. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll jump out, jump back in, and we will be away anytime now. We are away, and Stonecutter doesn't get a great start, bit bogged down. Jay gets a great start up into the lead with Bandit tucked in behind. So far, everybody looking good. Who's that way back? Got a really bad start. That looks to be Nick John Baker. Got a terrible start. Stargroup as well. Not a great start from him, although he is alongside Aussie Rooster. Nick John Baker already 3 seconds back. So did he have a full start there? Stonecutter dropping down through the order, just getting swallowed up. I mean, didn't have a great start in the Aston and already finds himself back in 12th place. Stargroup is in 10th as we go into turn 1. A few of them going side by side, getting a little bit fisticuffs through there. But Jay still leads the way. He is 3/10 up from Ghost in the BMW. With Cool Runnings running in 3rd place. Stormfly already worked his way up to 4th. Manxman running 5th place. He is just half a second back, and it's going to be very tight for a while, I think, here, because just because of how fast and frenetic this track is. Second back to Grizz Troopers, holding well though in that Sylvia. 1.2 seconds back from Manxman. He's got himself a bit of a gap actually to Kevin behind. 1.8 seconds, 1.9 seconds is the gap to Kevin, who's got Stargroup crawling all over the back of him. And these guys are 1 and 2 in the championship at the moment. This is the first of 2 races, of course. We do reverse championship order for race number 1, and then reverse grid for race number 2. Stargroup running in 8th place. He's as we're coming up to the end of lap 1 already. Fubar, he's running in 9th place, and looking to try and make some moves on Stargroup if he can. We'll see actually how strong the slipstream is here now, because it's going to be a bit. I think the first few laps, particularly while they're also close, is going to be that kind of slipstream train where everyone gets some and everyone gives some away, unless of course you're at the front of the pack. So let's see Stormfly up into second. Jay currently leading the way. He has got Stormfly right behind him though. That is Stormfly in the slipstream. Closing. Look at how strong that slipstream is here as he breezes past up into the lead of this race. And the front two already pulled out a 1.3 second gap over the rest of the field. It's really, really good gap already. And I think it's time for Jay to take the slow driver off the back of his car because he's not that slow anymore, is he really? Cool Runnings making the move on Ghost up into third place. Ghost in the lead BMW at the moment. Still in that top 5 though, still giving it. And if, look, there's been some debate over whether the BMW should have gone in this group. But, you know, it was voted for. It received more votes than some other cars, which is why it's out there. And the whole point of the lorry is sometimes you get a car you love, sometimes you don't get a car you love quite so much. So Cool Runnings in the top 3 now in the, he's in the Porsche. He is indeed in that Porsche Cayman. But Ghost with the slipstream tucked right in behind him and trying to find a way around Jay. And Jay holding them up at the moment, which is just giving Stormfly a little bit of impetus to get through. And how much will this affect everybody else behind? And how much would it give Stormfly a really good opportunity out in the lead? So here we've got Stormfly. He is on the medium tyre. So he's gone for the. You have to use 2 compounds. You have to use mediums and softs. So he's gone for the medium tyres initially, with Cool Runnings running on the medium tyres also. Ghost is the top soft tyre runner. So Jay moving way back. He's back into 5th place now. Lost out to Cool Runnings, Ghost and Manxman. Manxman also going through, but it's 3.3 seconds. So that little section where they were stuck behind Jay, they just couldn't find their way through. And that's allowed Stormfly to get a 3.2 second lead. Cool Runnings now giving up some slipstream to Ghost. I imagine we'll see Ghost using that just to get tucked in now behind Cool Runnings. And a little bit of lag coming through there. Quite a lot of lag coming through there, which isn't great. And who got 4th? There's Manxman running in 4th place in the that's the GR Supra. Love that car. That's really, really cool. That became one of my favourite too out of this. He is tucked behind Ghost. Can he make any moves on that BMW? Certainly keeping the gap at just over half a second. As you see, Ghost side by side with Cool Runnings into turn 1. Can he make the move? He was on the inside. Doesn't make the move for he does make it stick. How long can he hold out? Back up into second goes Ghost in the BMW, and that is a big message to anyone that moaned about the car, because he's currently running in 2nd place, although he is on those soft tyres, so he will need to change out sometime for the medium compounds. Cool Runnings starting on those medium tyres, which will mean the skin at the end will be softs all day long. Manxman running on the soft tyres, so he needs to capitalise on it and get a little move on forwards if he can. Kevin is running in 5th place, looking to try and make a move on Manxman here. Not the right place to overtake here. This is any overtake here you make is a very, very risky move. You've got a lot of wall either side. You're better off just staying tucked in that slipstream and waiting for the opportunity to make your way through. Jay tucked in behind Kevin 77 at the moment. He looks like he's ready to pounce on Manxman when they come round into the start-finish straight. So we're coming up to the end of lap 3, up to this big 180 switchback. You can have a little look there, Kevin. That's really Cool Runnings, but no move there. Kevin on the inside, Manxman locking up, and Kevin just moving up into 4th place. What he's going to do now, he's going to tuck into the little bit of slipstream he's going to get from Cool Runnings. Now actually he's not going to get a huge amount because he's outside that 1 second window that gives you the maximum slipstream. So for me, I think the better move would have been to stay behind Manxman coming out of the corner and use the slipstream down this straight to number 1 overtaking, but number 2 give you a little bit more propulsion up towards Ghost. And there's a great battle actually going on between Cool Runnings and Ghost. Cool Runnings in the Porsche and Ghost in the BMW. They're really, really battling and swapping places constantly. And all this is doing, this is allowing Stormflyer to absolutely carve out a huge lead. And when you haven't got cars around you here, you really can get the pedal down and really open up a gap. Particularly the two cars behind you are battling as they are with Cool Runnings and Ghost. Let's move down the order. We haven't looked at the back of the order. Stonecutter, first race with us, and welcome to Black Flag Racing. He's currently running in 13th place, trying to get used to the car. I'm sure he won't be too disheartened. From the United States is Stonecutter, and not our only American driver, of course. He's joined by our very own Grizz Troopers. I will go quite easy on him. It is his first race, so he's not going to get the kind of abuse that some others do. 7 seconds behind Bandit in the BMW. He is already 10 seconds adrift of Nick John Baker. The two Dutchmen, we've actually got quite a lot of Dutchmen out there today, but Bandit is 11 seconds behind Nick John Baker, both in the BMW. So it is purely down to Dutch power. 2.7 seconds up the road is this man here, Grizz Troopers, in the Sylvia. I love the Sylvia. He is 6 seconds back from Aussie Rooster in the Aston Martin. Looks like this isn't the greatest track for the Aston Martin today. But I mean, that's the nature of it. You've got 5 different cars and different tracks will suit different cars in different ways. And over the course of this 11 race season, and yes, it is 11 races, I'll tell you why in a bit, you will see different cars dominating. At the end of the day, the best drivers are always going to be the best drivers. And we see Kevin 77's moved himself up into that top 3 now, splitting Cool Runnings and briefly splitting Cool Runnings and Ghost. He's now up into 2nd. There's Fubar. He is 1.6 seconds ahead of Aussie Rooster. That is Aussie's target right now. He's got Star Group at 1.8 seconds up the road from him. And then you've got a little bit of a train going on. You've got Jay and Star Group battling out up into turn 1. Star Group looking up the inside, thinks better of it, tucks in behind. Jay just keeping that Cayman ahead of the Sylvia for now. How long can he hold him off? We are already nearly 1/3 into this 30-minute race. And it'll be 2 30-minute races here with a mandatory tyre change. Soft to mediums, of course. 0.8 of a second is Manxman up the road, and Jay still holding Wiggy off at this stage. There is Ghost. He is in 4th place, just ahead of Manxman, running in 4th, about 0.3 up. Now, Supra's doing all right. Supra is doing okay. We've got Cayman out in the lead, of course, 7.9 seconds. But he only pulled out that lead, really, because Cool Runnings and Ghost were battling it out. So Cool Runnings now ahead of Kevin. So the current leader and the reigning GR4 lottery champion not having it all his own way at the moment. And he's got a few cars around him, giving him a little bit of a race lesson today. But we all know what he's capable of, and we know when he finds that pace, there's not a lot you can do to stop him. And really, really good turn there up the inside, regained 2nd place. But the problem is he's now giving up slipstream, and Cool Runnings tucked in behind him. We'll just see just how strong this slipstream is, and it'll just close him right up. Now we're going to see a few of them all peeling off into the pits here. Stormfly in, Kevin in, Cool Runnings in, Ghost will come in, Manxman in. I think everyone's going to come in here. Now the question is whether the soft tyres last out. So Jay stays out, Star Group stays out, Wiggy of course stays out. No, we had 13, just a couple short, which isn't too bad, I suppose. When we've got all 20 cars have been allocated now, so we've got 20 people in the pool, but you've got people like you working, mate, and the numbers go down a little bit. It is what it is. It is what it is. This close to Christmas, people are doing other bits and pieces, so if we got 15 cars for every single race, every single week, I'd be very, very surprised. But it is what it is. So Star Group in the lead of this race. Everyone else picked at the end of lap 5. He has decided to stay out for one more lap here. Jay's also stayed out with him. He's been looking after those tyres, looking after that fuel. They're both on the mediums as well, so they're going to be coming out and going full beans on the soft compound tyres. FeR also staying out for another lap, as did Aussie Rooster. So your leader was Stormfly. He will lead again. He's 23 seconds off the back of Stargroup at the moment, but he's been in the pits for his mandatory stop and will run to the end of this race on the soft compound tyres. We know the tyres will hold out. We know the fuel pretty much will hold out. Essentially, if you get past the 10-minute mark on half a tank, a full tank will take you to the end of this race. Fastest lap is already a sub 2:10, which is very surprising because some of the quicker laps in the pre-race practice session were all sort of 2:10, 2:11. So a 2:09.0 from Stormfly, very, very good lap. Clearly got the measure of this track here. And that was, remember, on the medium compound tyre. Kevin is running in 6th place at the moment. Remember, Stargroup, Jay, FeR and Aussie all will pit at the end of this lap. We'll see more put in there. Is Stargroup in, Jay goes in, FeR follows him in, and then in goes Aussie. So we'll see Stormfly and Kevin coming through. 8.9 seconds is the difference between these two. There's a lot of work for Kevin to do. He's going to be... Now that's final rooms. There is a couple of people who I think are pulling out, so we'll see what cars are available. Let me know if you want to do it, and we'll put the cars that are not being used back on the wheel, and we'll spin you we'll not re-spin you a car, my friend. Just sign up. You know it's like Golden Sim League Pro. Sign up on there, and I'll get you a car sorted out, buddy. If you want to join in. So where are we at? Everybody's pit now, and we've got Stormfly leads the way, 8.8 seconds clear in that Porsche Cayman. And he was helped really by that battle between Ghost and Cool Runnings early on, where they kept swapping second, third, throughout that first stint. Throughout the first 10 minutes, pretty much, they kept swapping places. And while they were battling, it just allowed Stormfly to build up a nice, big, comfortable lead out in front. He is 9.4 seconds clear of the current, the reigning champion and the current championship leader, Kevin 77, who is just about 4 tenths up from the current second place in the tournament, Stargroup, running in the Sylvia. They've opened up a gap now, that top three now, opened up a gap 2.7 seconds back to Cool Runnings from Jamaica. Don't be fooled by the Dutch badge, he just lives there, he is well and truly not Dutch. And he is under a bit of pressure from Ghost still. So these two have got a right battle going on as Ghost bins that BMW into the wall. You can't park that there, mate. And he drops way down the order. It was going so well as well in that BMW, but just overcooked it, bin that BMW, and he's going to have a very large repair bill on that car now. Jay up to 6th place, Aussie up to 5th place. 4.9 seconds Aussie is back in that Aston Martin. And as we see Jay under some pressure from Phil, we've got a little bit wide into that 180. That just allows FeR just to dive up the inside and side by side they are at the moment. Now one of them, which one's going to concede and dive in for the slipstream? It is FeR. They should have raced side by side for a bit of interesting action. You know what? It's brilliant. I love this track. It's such awesome stuff, and it really mixes up this track. Even like when we did this in the GR4 as well, it was an awesome race. I think we should just do 10 races around here in 10 different cars. That'd be wicked. So Jay does hold out from FeR up in 6th place, but FeR tucked in that slipstream. He's going to make a move now. Has he done it soon enough, or is he going to have to tuck in as they go into turn 1? Looks to me that he didn't quite have enough impetus. Just tucks in as they go through turns 1 and 2. Little wobble for the back of Jay, but not enough room for FeR to get through, and Jay just holds out. This is a very difficult part of the racetrack to overtake, unless of course you do what Ghost did and smash your car into one of the many walls here. FeR 11 seconds is how much time Ghost lost behind FeR after that crash. Back in 8th place now, and he's gone to join the BMW of Nick John Baker. 3.7 seconds is that gap between the two of them, and certainly some work to do for Ghost now to get back into the runnings, back racing with the cool runnings even. Grizz Troopers running well in 10th place. He is 3 seconds back from the BMW of Nick John Baker. Grizz Troopers from the United States, of course. 1.5 seconds clear of Manxman. Manxman is 14 seconds ahead of Bandits, and Bandits 6.9 seconds clear of Stonecutter. And Stonecutter on the medium compound tyres now. Is he going to be able to? I don't know if he's got enough fuel to go to the end of this race, you know. Certainly brave if he thinks he can. It's about half a tank for 10 minutes, so he might be touch and go. But I tell you what, it's brave. It's brave. I'll tell you that it's brave having that much fuel at this stage. So there is your current leader, Stormflies, 12 seconds. So not only has he opened up the gap, but he's just done a 2:08.7. So absolutely, and bear in mind he's had no slipstream on this track at all, because he's led pretty much from one of the earliest laps. He made his way through off the grid. Reverse grid obviously for the second race, so he will start plumb last. That will give him a lot of work to do in race number 2. Kevin 77 running in second place. He's still got Wiggy for company and not able really to drop him, pull away from him. And this is a really good battle between these. 1.2 seconds is the gap at the moment. So Wiggy's certainly not out of this. And I would imagine that Kevin will be looking in his mirrors and wondering, can he keep Wiggy at bay? 5.6 seconds, cool runnings. He wasn't a great battle with Ghost for quite some time, but TJ bins that BMW and leaves cool runnings alone to run his own little race. 5.7 seconds. Yeah, that's why he's going so fast. He's been, I reckon he's been secretly practicing because he had to take a penalty last week because he lost his rag. I think he's been practicing this week because he's got some points deficit to make up. But Cool Run is currently the best of the rest, running in 4th place. 3.8 seconds up from Aussie Rooster. You can always rely on Aussie to be kind of there or thereabouts. You know, season 1 he did a really good job. He had the Lamborghini, not Diablo, in season 1, and you know, especially early on, he was kind of in and around that top 3, and finished very comfortably in, I think it was top 5. He finished the tournament last time out. So good running from Aussie, and he's currently running in 5th place in the Aston Martin. 5.7 seconds back is Jay, running comfortably in 6th, and still staying ahead of FeR. FeR not able to find a way around Jay. And if you want to look at anyone that hasn't noticed already, we've put up all the polls for the end of year awards. Do get voting, and I'll tell you what, this guy's got to be a shoo-in for most improved, hasn't he? You know, I remember when he joined us, it was me, him, and Grizz racing around at the back. Now me and Grizz still race around at the back, and he's off up with the big boys now. Doesn't hang around with the hoi polloi like us anymore. 3/10 back to FeR Fernandes, who's looking to try and make a move, but it just seems that he gets close. He gets really close with the slipstream, but then can't make the move in this section because it's just not the right place to do it. Maybe on the last lap you might have a little chuck one up the inside and see what happens. You just got to be so careful though here. You can lose so much time by clipping a wall and spinning your car around the other way. 12 seconds back, talking of spinning your car around the other way. There's a man who did exactly that. He was running in the top 3 at one stage. He is now down in 8th place, having binned that car into a wall, and 13 seconds back from that battle between Jay and FeR. And FeR has found a way through. Did Jay have a problem It looks like he did because he's lost a lot of time. So it looks to me that Jay, having just put in his fastest lap of the race with a 2:11.7, has binned it somewhere, maybe clipped a wall, and finds himself at 8 seconds behind FeR, with only 5 seconds on Ghost. Are we going to see a battle between those two as we go into the final 8 minutes of this race? About 4 laps left, there or thereabouts. 3 or 4 laps left. Nick John Baker running in 9th place, 2.2 seconds. Can he close up that BMW on the back of Ghost and make it a little Dutch shenanigan for the end of this race? Manxman, very quick in the in season 1. Joined us quite late into season 1, and ran I think he had the Citroen, if I remember rightly, and put in some really good lap times, but at the moment not able to close up really on the back of those BMWs and get some pace out of that Supra today. I don't think the Supra's performing as well as you'd like here. It looked, I mean, I actually would have thought Supra would be the dominant car here, but it looks like it's the Porsche and the Silvia. Grizz Troopers running well in 11th place, 1.7 behind Manxman, but 11 seconds clear of Bandit from the land of the Dutch. We've got Dutch drivers, a lot of Dutch drivers at the moment, very popular in that part of Europe, clearly. And Stonecutter from the United States, first race with us. Welcome to the club, buddy. I hope you enjoyed time here. But not going so well so far. 15.2 seconds back in that Aston Martin. Stonecutter, of course, from the United States. You can see by that badge. There's your lead, though. 12.9 seconds he leads. And he's putting another 2:08.5, another fastest lap of this race. Very, very quick times. He's got that Cayman absolutely singing. Kevin just pulling out a bit of a gap now from Star Group. Yeah, he does. He has to run soft and medium as he put mediums on again. You could, to be fair, if he started on mediums, he does have to run soft tyres, and you can do this with a one stop. I think it did, it really did. Seeing Verstappen win the championship, and to be fair, seeing someone outside the kind of usual suspects win the championship as well does change the perspective. So yes, unfortunately, Adrian, you're going to have to pit again and put on soft compound tyres. This was only a one-stop race. That's going to cost you some time, buddy. Bearing in mind you're currently running in 4th place. What a shame that is. And you've only got about 5 minutes in which to do it, if that. So Aussie Rooster looks like he might get promoted. 5 seconds he is ahead of FeR at the moment. FeR did get ahead of Jay after Jay looked like Jay had a problem. And where is Ghost? Ghost had more of an issue. There's been something going on there, because Ghost is now behind Manxman. Did he crash his car? Manxman is ahead. Grizz Troopers has got up into 9th place. Good running from him. Nick John Baker up to 8th place. Just 1.9 seconds. How you doing, Aaron? Good to see you, buddy. There's 1.9 seconds behind Jay. Running now comfortably in midfield. And he definitely had some sort of accident, which allowed FeR to get through, because FeR's now 16 seconds up the road. What is it? Lap 12. We've got literally 4 minutes of this race left. So 2 more laps. And can anybody bring anything to Stormfly here? Because at the moment he's just getting faster and faster and faster. He's got 2:07.9. Now remember what I said, the practice times in the practice lobby, the practice times were around 2 minutes 10, and he's come into this race and absolutely melted those times. In fact, he's only been, the only time he didn't do a 2 minute 10 was on one racing lap, and the in and out lap from the pits, and that's it. 2:07.9 last lap. He's just done a 2:09.5. Just absolutely on top. And remember, he's had no slipstream. He's been out in the lead this entire race with no slipstream on that really, really, really long straight. Kevin 77, he current championship leader and reigning champion, up into 2nd place, but 13 seconds back, and it's It's not maximum points for him in race number 1. Yeah, he should have, yeah. Oh, well, we'll see how he gets on. He's in the pits now. Whack those softs on and get back out. Can you stay in the top 6? Where's Jay? I think he might just get out ahead of Jay. So Cool Runnings does get out ahead of Jay. Loses a couple of places. Wasn't too damaging. It could have been a lot worse, I think. But he was in the top 4. That's you know, it's a few points lost there. But he's got the pace. He's got the running of this car. He's got some good pace here. And there is another race to go, remember. And actually that benefits him because it gives him a couple places further up the grid for the reverse grid in race number 2. But no one can stop him. He's absolutely on fire. We'll complete this lap and get one more out of it. I don't know how many he's going to make the 13 laps, to be honest. Kevin should make it just. I think anyone past this point, I don't know if Cool Runnings is going to get to lap 14. We'll soon find out. We know Stormfly will, Kevin certainly will. Stargroup, as he comes down, he will certainly make it. But I don't know. He might do actually. Cool Runnings might make it actually, looking at where he is. So from the back, we've got Stonecutter. First race with us. He's in the Aston Martin. 1.8 seconds back from Bandit. He put in a bit of resurgence because he was quite far adrift. Running in the 2-minute 14s. Bandit in the 2-minute 12s. So did Bandit have a problem this lap because that gap is down to 2.3 seconds. We know Ghost has had an absolute nightmare. He did 2:38 on lap 11, so he did crash again. We saw him crash on lap 5. Was it lap 5 or lap 7? He crashed on lap 7 in the battle with Cool Runnings and never got back through the field to continue. It just goes to show how unforgiving motor racing can be. You can be, you know, driving as quick as you like and having the time of your life out there, and then one little mistake and it all goes horribly, horribly wrong. So we are. Who's going to make it? Grizz Troopers and Manxman should just make lap 14. And I think Ghost will finish on this lap, so the time runs out in about 4 seconds. And I'm sure he will welcome the end of this race because that was not his greatest swan song, that last race. So there we go. It is overdone and dusted. Why is the timer not running out? It's a 30-minute race. A little bit concerned. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's crossed the line. And Bandit will finish 12th. Stonecutter, unfortunately, couldn't close up on Bandit. Will finish in 13th place. But here is your current race leader. He's going to round this big 180 switchback in that Porsche Cayman. 2:07.9 was his fastest lap, which he did on lap 11. Been dominant all the way through. Made his way through the field. Now up into first. Kevin did close the gap a little bit. 2 seconds he closed it down in the last couple of laps. But Stormfly will come home in the lead of this race. Number 1. That's a good, juicy 25 points for him. And but he will start from the very, very back in race number 2. And Stormfly comes through and crosses the line in the lead. 11 seconds clear. What a finish that was. Good racing from him. Here comes Kevin. He will cross the line in second. Still picking up good points. And that's always important when you're at the top of the tree. If you can't win, stay ahead of your championship rivals. And there is his closest championship rival right now. Stargroup comes home in third place. 8.2 seconds behind in the end. Yeah, it can, absolutely. Aussie Rooster, 17 seconds back in fourth place. Good running from that Aston Martin. As I told you, he always gets that car in and around that top 3. Fubar finishes in 5th. He closed that gap to 2.5 seconds. Cool Runnings would have been 4th, but he put on the wrong tyres and will come home in 6th place. So not a huge loss, but certainly could have been better. In 6th, Jay will come home in 7th. Good solid midfield run from Jay. Nick John Baker 5.3 seconds back in the BMW, lead BMW that. 9th place for Manxman. Grizz Troopers will come home in 10th. Ghost was 11th, Bandit 12th, and Stonecutter in 13th place. Well, that's race number 1 done. So essentially, the grid looks like this for race number 2. It'll be Stonecutter, Bandit on row 1, Ghost and Grizz on row 2, Manxman and Nick John Baker on row 3. Row 4 will be Jay and Cool Runnings. Row 5 will be Fubar with Aussie. Row 6, Star Group with Kevin and Stormfly. The winner of this race will be very, very, very far at the back. But we saw at the beginning of this race that actually is not a huge disadvantage on this track. You know, when turn 1 comes upon you very quickly, it can be a bit of a problem. But when you've got the kind of slipstream you get here at Tokyo, the further back you start actually can be really beneficial to you, particularly on sort of lap 1 and 2. Yeah, further on in the race doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Everyone's getting the same benefit, but certainly early on, it's a good one. But there you go, race number 1 done and dusted. There's some good juicy points to be handed out. I probably should screenshot the position, shouldn't I, so I can update the league table. There we go. Good racing all round. So we move on to race number 2, which will be in a couple of minutes. I'm sure Jay will tell us just how long we have to wait. I can. Yeah, 13 cars, 14 laps, 14 very, very long straights. Yeah. You do rely here on a few people making mistakes, because if you've only got 14 laps and you have a lap or two, you don't overtake anyone, it starts to make it harder, because you've got to rely really on some of those midfield guys and some of the slow guys maybe making 1 or 2 mistakes, so you can nick 1 or 2 positions early. I think that's the key. I think that's what won Stormfly the race there, is he got that position early and was able to capitalise on the battles going on behind him to open up the gap. Had Ghost and Cool Runnings not been battling for 2nd and 3rd so much behind him, he might not have had the opportunity to really pull out as much of a gap as he did. Although with those lap times, I would struggle to see how anyone was going to keep up with him today. That was craziness. Absolute craziness, and I will accept that from request soon. Of course I will. So, just waiting for race number 2 to get sorted out, and Jay will get the lobby. Wiggy will get the lobby all sorted out for that. I'm going to update the race results. That's what I'm going to do. Let's get that done, shall we? Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back with you shortly. You had sushi for dinner and it seems to have worked. Yeah. He's turned you into a Japanese boy, a small Japanese boy racer. Absolutely smashing it. Yeah, no, absolutely. You're completely right there. And because he didn't have to worry about battling anyone, it was just concentrating on the lines and chucking those laps in. So Well, at least Adrian knows now that he can put on the softs in his pit stop, and we'll see what sort of time he gets. We know as well that Ghost can be quick round here when he doesn't put his car into the wall. So it will be interesting to see, particularly because Ghost was quite quick in the early stages of the last race, and he'll be up in the top 3. It'll be interesting to see, actually. Be very interesting to see. But everyone going for a smoke break. I'm going to go and grab a drink and have a quick wee. I'll be back in a sec. Did you miss me? Of course you did. Who wants to hear our Christmas song again? Let's try and get our Christmas song to Christmas number 1, shall we? Loving the cheese that is the Christmas song. Right, so I think we're all ready to go. Race will begin shortly. I'll jump in and catch up with all of the action, shall I? That's a really rather interesting view it's given me. Hopefully I won't have to jump out and back in again, it'll keep me here. So Stonecar will lead everyone out, Bandit in second, Ghost in third, Grizz Troopers in fourth place, and they are away. And it looks like everyone's away pretty cleanly. Oh, it's rolling start, of course. What's going on? It's not giving me anyone to look at, it's terrible. So rolling start for race number 2, forgot about that. That actually benefits the guys from behind, because the rolling start just gives you that impetus straight away from the outset. And we see there Ghost getting swatted up by Grizz Troopers really early on. Manx Man in 5th place, and who's Nick John Baker's in the pits. Why is Nick John Baker in the pits? What is going on? That looks like a problem. We have had some sort of log issue here. No, he's not in the pits. It was just a bug, but the bug is fixed, whatever it is. So Stormfly Star Group battle it out the back of the pack, and a little clip of the wall there from Kevin, and so that's going to slow him down a little bit. He's up to 10th place with his Star Group just winning out. Aussie Rooster loses out there. Aussie Rooster right back in 13th place, and look at how bunched up these cars are early on, as we've got Nick John Baker getting swallowed up. Star Group moving through. Kevin just ahead of him in 10th place, trying to make a move there on Grizz Troopers, side by side with him. Really dangerous place to be trying to overtake here. And but this is the beauty of it. When you get a reverse grid, you do get this beautiful first couple of frantic laps. And the fact that we've stayed clean and no one's taken anybody out, pretty damn good that. Star Group, though, is back in 11th place, not able to keep up with Kevin, which he really wants to do. He started from the pit lane, that's why. He was processing his Thai food. Grizz Troopers clipping the wall there, that allowed Nick John Baker to get through. Certainly did. Through he goes. Aussie Rooster is at the back of the pack, but out in front we've got Bandit leading the way in the BMW. Good start from him. He's got Cool Runnings with him. Does Cool Runnings remember to put on soft tyres this time? If he does, he's in a really, really good position there in second. And it is a Dutch front four. Well, we'll call it that. He's actually Jamaican, Cool Runnings. He's not Dutch at all, but he just happens to live in Holland. But it is 4 Dutch cars in the front four. Will we see another battle with Cool Runnings and Ghost? Or will Cool Runnings get his way past Banner? Look how strong the slipstream is. I think I do have a high-res version. I'll find it for you, Rooms, and I'll post it up. I will dig it out of my files and I'll post it up for you. Yeah, it was really cool. It took me ages to find a really cool snow one. I wasn't actually looking for North Street. I was looking for a different track, but I found that, and I was very pleased with it. So Cool Runnings up into the lead. Bandit coming back at him, but they're up into turn 1, and Cool Runnings is ahead, leads this race now. Can he do what Stormfly did in race number 1 and open himself up a little gap? He's in the same car, so certainly got the capability. And if he can build a gap, this would be really, really good. But talking to Stormfly, he is absolutely on fire. This is by far his best track, best race of the season. He is loving this track. He's up to second already and hunting down Cool Runnings. He does not want to see that Cayman disappearing off into the distance. He is having an absolute blast here. And up into the lead already. What a move from Stormfly. It's phenomenal on this track. Absolutely phenomenal. Can't fault the quality of his driving here today. I think the only thing that's going to stop him is if he cocks it up. But he's just absolutely dialed in. Bandit back ahead of Cool Runnings. Did Cool Runnings have a little bit of a knock? So he did. He's had a little knocks. He's got a bit of damage, which has just come off the car, which just slowed him up a bit. Ghost getting back involved. Can he get around Cool Runnings? These two are going to have another battle in the early stages of this race here. Kevin's already got himself up to 5th place, but he's got a 3-second penalty. What is that penalty for? 3 seconds is a big, big penalty. Did he have a coming together with somebody? Because we haven't got wall penalties turned on, so I won't be getting a wall. Or did he just pick up? I'm struggling to see what it must have been for collision with another car. If he serves that penalty, that will drop him way down. I think it's going to cost loads of time. And I can tell you now, yeah, that can't be. Yeah, I can tell you now just how big the loss is. We had a practice lobby doing this yesterday, and I picked up a 3-second penalty here, and it cost somewhere near, if I remember rightly, I think it was about 11 seconds overall by the end of the straight that I'd lost. It's a massive, massive loss, that penalty line here. Probably the worst in the entire game for me. Much worse than Interlagos and Spa. I mean, they're quite big losses, Interlagos and Spa. But no, it's huge, huge loss here. Nick John Baker running in 11th place. He's got Kevin just ahead of him. Can he? And Gritz Trooper's little clip of the wall. That just unsettles Kevin a little bit. Can't make the move past him. Does eventually. Nick John Baker also goes through. Where is Stonecutter? Stonecutter's out the back of the pack. So he's going to have to. It looks like we've got someone else that can have some back market battles, and that's always great. That, you know, it's all well and good having all you guys at the front that can race each other, but us guys that race around the back need some love too. And at the moment, Stonecutter, Gritz Troopers battling out of the back. Fubar not being able to get his car up that order, struggling a little bit. He's got Nick John Baker ahead of him. Needs to try and get that car further up the field. We know Fubar is certainly capable of it. And I was singing his praises on Saturday in the morning event, because he's been so solid. He's been so close in so many races to a top 3. Just hasn't managed to get that podium he so thoroughly deserves at the moment. So he'll be disappointed being back in 11th place at the moment. Nick John Baker got that BMW, and he's not going to do any better clipping the wall like that. Does that let Gritz Troopers through? Gritz Troopers with that little bit of pace, he comes through, takes 11th place, and Fubar drops down to 12th. So just slightest error here can really cost you. Bandit running in 9th place is still tucked behind the rear wing of Kevin. And how strong is the slipstream? Look, we know the BMW is not big. It's probably the weakest of the 5 cars here, without question. We did discuss it earlier as whether that car should have been in the lottery. The fact remains it went up for a vote. People voted for the car. And it was voted for more than some others. But look at that slipstream, just how strong that is. And he's staying tucked in rather than pulling out and making the move, which I find a little bit strange. A little bit late now to do it, because he lost that impetus. He gave him a little bit of a nudge, gave him that little bit of a bump draft, which kind of kept Kevin ahead, gave him that little extra burst of speed, and Bandit just has to tuck in behind. But Kevin runs in 8th place. He's got some work to do, some big work to do. Currently 11 seconds off Stormfly, the leader. But we know what he's capable of. There is a reason he's top of the championship, and a reason that he is the reigning champion. I wouldn't count him out just yet. 2.4 seconds is the gap to Aussie Rooster. Aussie Rooster got himself into the top 4 in race number 1. Good little run for him in that Aston Martin. And he is just 3/10 behind, or not even that. He's crawling all over the back of Wiggy. And Wiggy trying to shake him off, but what can he do? Wiggy's got Jay in front of him as well, and we know that Jay is particularly strong on these Tokyo tracks, especially if his only real downfall was consistency in the last race. He had a little issue and it cost him some time, but if he can be consistent, he is certainly one for the money here. And Jay actually got his first win for Black Flag at one of these Tokyo tracks against guys like Star Group and Kevin and Patrick and all the other racers. A real shame we haven't got Chris out there today. Yellow Sausages, get well soon, man. Hope they sort out your leg and you're back with us in the new year. Star Group does make the move, makes the move on Aussie and Jay. Aussie trying to make the move on Jay as well. They're side by side. Who's going to tuck in behind? Aussie tucks in behind, and Kevin tucked in behind them. So a little bit of a run down. Ghost is in 4th place. That is the battle for 2nd at the moment. It is Cool Runnings, Maxman and Ghost all running down that straight, practically on top of each other. And this is the view from Ghost. Ghost pulls out, makes the move on Maxman, tucks in behind Cool Runnings for a little bit more slipstream. Can he make this a double overtake on lap 5 here? Tucked right in. He's got probably one more lap left. If he decides to hang it out, I think he will hang it out for one lap, coming at the end of lap 6. And he's just trying to make that move. He's round the outside. And Manxman just says, fuck you to the pair of them, comes round the outside and takes 2nd place from both of them. And Cool Runnings and Ghost were so concerned with each other that they didn't see that massive, massive move from Manxman. And have some of that. How do you like them apples? There is your race leader, 8 seconds. 8 seconds. You read it right, folks. Will he come in the end of this lap? I suspect he probably will. We're on lap 5 here at Tokyo Expressway East in the clockwise direction. 8.3 seconds is his current lead. It will be a double whammy, I think, for him today. This is a great battle, though, for 2nd going on right now behind him. Again, it's the same as happened in race number 1. You have the battles going on behind, and they can't concentrate on chasing you because they're battling each other. But let's be fair, nobody has got the pace of Stormfly today. He's absolutely got this car dialed in. 207 was his fastest lap on race number 1. Can he go 206? Can he give me a 206? He does like the challenge. Let's see if he can do it, though. So Manxman is in 2nd, but we're going to see very similar scenario that we saw on the last lap. Where is Ghost? Has Ghost, I thought he dropped off there. He has dropped off a little bit, but not significantly, I don't think. But this is Manxman leading the charge here as Stormfly pulls in. Now, who else is going to go in? Manxman going to go in? I think he is. He'll pull over to the left-hand side. He'll go in. Cool Runnings will follow him in. Remember, soft tyres, man. Soft tyres. Mrs. Cool Runnings, can you remind him to put his soft compound tyres on, please? Thank you very much. Everyone through, apart from Star Group and Jay, stay out for another lap. That's the tactic they opted for in race number 1. It's the tactic they're going for in race number 2 as well, to pit at the end of lap 6 and give themselves a nice big run towards the end. Stormfly back out in 3rd this time. Last time he pitted, he came out in 5th. He's even further up. Stonecutter has stayed out for another lap. He might stay out for another one after that. And he actually moves up into 3rd place, making an overtake on Stormfly. He's good to go. Awesome. Awesome. So there we go. So Star Group in the lead from J49. Stonecutter up to 3rd. He does need to pit, however. The front 3 all need to pit. Does that mean Stonecutter is actually giving himself a really good chance at an overcut here? Because he's staying out, and to be fair, he might be able to do another lap after this as well on those soft tyres, so running longer on the softs. I think the optimum strategy here is to start on the medium tyres with the half a tank of fuel and then have the long run at the end of the softs, because the softs will take you to the end of this race when you pit. But I suppose it depends whether you can take it to the halfway point, and if you can take this to the halfway point, he might be in a good position to nick a couple of places here. There is Manxman running in 5th place. He's winning that battle between himself, Ghost and Cool Runnings. He's winning it quite significantly at the moment. 1.5 seconds he's managed to pull out. That means he's not giving up any slipstream to the 2 cars behind of Ghost and Cool Runnings. Can Ghost keep that car out of the wall? If he can, this is going to the wire between these two. They have been battling it out all day. Everywhere that Ghost has been, there has been Cool Runnings. and vice versa, until of course Ghost decided he wanted to put his BMW into a concrete wall. And a really good run out of that turn for Cool Runnings, tucked in behind. Is he going to make a little switcheroo overtake up the inside? He did. Look at it, he's chucked out the inside. Has he managed to break? He's not. So the switcheroo's on. Ghost comes back through, retains that position as the Stargroup in, Jay in. Stormfly will go through into the lead of this race. Where's Stonecutter? Stonecutter is back in 4th place. It looks to me that he's going to pull off into the pits, staying on that left-hand side. So the running order will be Stormfly from Manxman in 2nd place. And Manxman in a very, very good position in that Supra now. Very good position. Really doing the job for Team Supra. Stargroup got back out ahead of Manxman. How did he do that? He was in the... He's got some kind of crazy pit skills, because he's back out already. The gap is 8 seconds. He's in 2nd place. Manxman's going to make this move here. But remember, Manxman's on the medium compound size. How long can he hold Wiggy off? That's the question. I don't think... Oh, I don't know, actually. I mean, the thing is, this battle between these 4, or these 3, now has a 4th car in there. And that 4th car is Wiggy in the Sylvia. Now, this puts a bit of a spanner in the works for all of them, really, because while it's battling and while it's going off, you can't really get your car ahead. But then I say that, and then Stargroup gets himself up into 2nd. Can he stay there? Manxman's not giving it up easy. Stargroup has the inside line. He makes it stick. Manxman clips that wall under the bridge. That allows Cool Runnings up. Manxman spinning out. Can he get back control? He does get back control of his car, but he's got Ghost all over the back of him now. Just a little error there. I'm trying to keep up with Wiggy, and I think sometimes you kind of have to concede. And already into that battle now, we've got Ozzy and we've got Kevin getting involved. It is going off everywhere. Stargroup up into 2nd. 1.3 seconds is clear. Cool Runnings off up the road with him. 2 seconds up from this battle here. This battle is Ghost, Manxman, Aussie Rooster, and Kevin all battling at the moment for 4th place. And Manxman is facing the wrong way. And as I said to Ghost in race number 1, you can't park that there, mate. So all change then. Manxman just, with the way it was going, it was insane racing. And something had to give somewhere, and it finally did. And Kevin makes his way through, capitalises on those errors. He's up through. Aussie is through, up into 5th place, tucked under that back wing of Kevin, with Ghost running now in 6th place. Jay up to 7th. He was not far off Wiggy when he went into the pits, but Wiggy just got out so quickly, so quickly, and up into 2nd place. Jay running in 7th. He was 7th in the last race. He's currently 7th here. Can he make a move on Ghost and move up into the top 6? Fubar 1 second back in 8th place. He is looking to make an improvement as well. Can he close up and get involved in that battle? It looks to me that the big battles on the racetrack are wherever Ghost seems to be. Ghost just loves to get involved in these on-track battles. It's awesome racing. But Aussie Rooster is trying desperately to hold off the charge of the Greek god of driving, Kevin 77, who chucks it up the inside, moves up into 4th place. He's got about 3.5 seconds to make up on Cool Runnings. His fastest lap is a 2:09.6. That's half a second slower than Stormfly's fastest lap of this race, and some 2 seconds slower. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it is. That's the thing. It's one of those tracks where if you get it dialed in, you absolutely can get some great lap times, and it feels great. But you only need to clip one wall, and everything just goes to shit. Because the straights are so long, I mean, you spend more time here in 4th and 5th gear than pretty much any other racetrack, probably other than Monza or sort of Kemmel Straight and Spa, for instance, or Le Mans maybe. But yeah, you spend so much time in kind of the top end gears that any little clip of the wall, and you've got so much time you're going to lose just trying to get back up to speed again. And Cool Runnings is 2.3 seconds clear of Kevin. He is starting to close down that gap. How much can he close it? There's the leader. Stormfly crosses the line to start lap 9. 5 laps of this race remaining. Can he start to ramp up the times? Remember, he did a 2:07 in race number 1. Has he got that pace in the car here in race number 2? I'm certain he has. 9 seconds back, there is Stargroup up into 2nd place. He is 2.4 seconds clear of Cool Runnings, who this time remembered to put on the racing soft tyres and is up into the top 3. How long is he there for? Because behind him is this man here, the current championship leader, Kevin, 2.2 seconds back. He will not want to be giving up this many points to Stargroup, who is just behind him in the championship. But is there a potential fly in the ointment here in Aussie Rooster? He's 1.5 seconds back from Kevin. Can he match him for pace? His fastest lap to BFeR is a couple of seconds down on that of Kevin, but it only takes, as you've seen, a little clip of the wall, and it can go horribly wrong. And Kevin here has just not had the consistency we used to see from him. And I was going to say it's nice to see. I mean, it's never nice to see anyone not performing the way they'd like to perform, but it's nice to see that he is beatable now and again. Because usually it's who won? Oh, Kevin won. BFeR running in 6th place, 2.9 seconds back from Aussie. He's ahead of Manxman. Now, Manxman, remember, had some great battles with Cool Runnings, with Ghost, with Wiggy, loads of battles going on, but just put that Supra into a wall and brought himself out of that fight for a while. 5.4 seconds he is back from BFeR, and he has got Bandit all over the back of him in that BMW. And it looks to me that Ghost, again, he starts out so well and he's fallen off the pace somewhat. Nick John Baker in 9th, Jay down to 10th place. So did he have a bad lap? Yes, he did. He had a 2:11 in the last lap, and that's not a bad lap, to be fair. So I don't know why he's lost so many places, but he looks like he's going to make a move up the inside on Nick John Baker, or is he? Is he going to try the old switcheroo around the outside? No, they don't. They both take the apex quite well. Grizz Trooper's involved in that battle there as well, and goes back in 12th place. So he did have a bad lap. He had a bad lap of 2:16 on lap 7, which cost him some time. So he's got some significant work to do here to get back involved in that battle. Stonecutter at the back, 23 seconds back, but he will he'll be putting in the shift. And, he'll be, at the end of the day, 23 seconds back or not, and this is probably where I'll be. 2:14.7, that's his quickest lap. The thing about being in that position, whatever happens, it only takes one of the cars in front of you to bin it into a wall, and you're no longer in 13th place. So don't be disheartened, buddy, because we usually most of the time. There's your leader, 9.5 seconds. Almost is the gap now to Stargroup. It's just getting bigger and bigger, that gap. He's not actually showing the crazy pace he showed in race number 1, and it may well be that that's a conscious choice. It could just be that the track's not evolving in the same way it was in race number 1. We know that GT7 does have some focus on track evolution, and the time of day does play into the factor, so that may have affected the lap times a little bit. Stargroup running in 2nd. He's opened up that gap to, Kevin's now round Cool Runnings. It's a 3.1 seconds. So Kevin up into the top 3. He's got his way around Cool Runnings. He's got to stay there though. Cool Runnings is not going to let him go. He's currently running in 4th. This is probably where Adrian would have finished had he not had to put some more tyres on in race number 1. So consistency is his friend today. And that's the fastest lap of the race from Kevin. So he's not content with allowing Stormfly to pick up all these fastest laps. And he is now 2.7 seconds behind Wiggy. He's got a bit of work to do. We're just completing lap 10. So 4 laps remaining here at Tokyo. And we're in the GR4 lottery, of course. Anyone that's never watched this before, it's a very simple premise. We had 5 cars. We stuck them on the wheel. So essentially there were 20 slots on the wheel. Those 5 cars spread out evenly among that wheel. I then spun the wheel and allocated the cars to everybody interested in racing. So they didn't pick the cars, I did. And that's the car they've got to use for the remainder of the season. And there is no car swaps this time. We just race that car. We've got some great races coming up in this season. But I'll tell you what's going to be my favourite, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be the midpoint race. So we've got 5 races with this standard format. For the first half, we've got 5 races. The second half, a slap bang in the middle, we've got special stage Route X. We turn BOP off, and you can do what you want to your car. You can put on any amount of kit you like. There is no PP restriction. Soup up that car to the maximum, and then battle it out on special stage Route X for some double bubble points. And I will announce more about how the points are going to work. It's going to be slightly different. So it's going to reward you for things like overtakes and stuff like that, as well as track position, just to mix things up a little bit. But there's your leader. He is 9.4 seconds clear of Star Groot Senior, or Wiggy as we know him. The driver from Wales is at the moment still holding Kevin off, but he's got only a 2.3 second gap on him. 2:09.4 was his fastest lap, which he did on the last lap. Kevin with a 2:08.2. So he has seen what Stormfly can do with the 207s, and he's raising him. He's trying now to ramp up that pace. Hasn't got the slipstream of Star Groot yet, but at this current pace, Star Groot is going to be looking in his mirrors and wondering how long is it going to be. This is the view from behind his car. He's got that view in his mirror. Is the lights there of Kevin 77 hunting him down? He'll know he's there as well. But his job is just to get your lines, just follow your path, do your lines as you want them, as you need them, and just hope that you've done enough come the end of this race. Cool Running settling nicely into 4th. He's 4.5 seconds back now from Kevin. Couldn't hold him off for any length of time, but he is comfortably 4.5 almost ahead of Aussie Rooster. Finished 4th in the last race, only good enough for 5th so far here. But of course anything can happen out in front, you just never know. And he is 1 second up from Fubar. Fubar made his way through the field. He was running back at 11th at one stage, but has made his way up. He's now just 1.1 seconds behind Aussie Rooster in the Aston Martin. Can he make it work for him? 6.8 seconds back to Manxman. After clipping the wall in that Super, he never really recovered into running with the big boys. But he has won the battle with Ghost. He may have lost the battle with Cool Runners, but he won the battle with Ghost. He's 3.4 seconds clear of this man here, Bandit, also from the Netherlands, running in the BMW. He's actually, I think he's the lead BMW, isn't it? He's the lead BMW. He is 9.2 seconds clear of J49, and J's not having a great race this time out. Normally a very strong track for Jay, but it's just this second race just hasn't really worked out that well for him. It's not that he's super slow either. 2:10 is a good lap, to be fair. Just consistency not his friend. And he's got 9 seconds to make up on Bandit if he can. And Bandit is lapping half a second slower. Nick John Baker 4.8 seconds back. 2:12.5 was his fastest lap. Hasn't been able to improve on that. And he finds himself 1.9 seconds ahead of Ghost, who, despite having pace in that BMW, it seems almost that he's better when on the medium tyres than he is on the soft compound. It just seems when he puts the soft compound tyre on, he just starts to struggle and make mistakes. I don't know what the ultras are, but the ultras don't make mistakes. 2.2 seconds back to Grizz Troopers in the Sylvia, running in 12th place at the moment, and he's 27 seconds clear of Stonecutter in the Aston Martin, who's just done his fastest lap for 2:13.6. So pace ramping up for him too. We're on lap 12 or lap 13, depending on which car you're looking at, of this 14 lap or 13 or 14 lap race, depending on where you are on the racetrack, of course. We're at Tokyo East in a clockwise direction in Japan. This is round 3 of the GR4 Lottery Season 2. And this will be the last race until when is the next race in this series? I don't think we're racing next week. Next week will be Boxing Day, and then it'll be New Year's Day. So we won't. This is the last race in this series until we head to Croatia for the Dragon Trail Gardens on the 2nd of January, the day after New Year's Day. So we won't be racing on Boxing Day, but we'll be racing on the 2nd of January. Same bat time, of course, same bat channel. And then we'll come back to Japan for Kyoto before we do our very special event at Special Stage Route X on the 16th of January. .8 seconds is the lead for Stormfly. Another fastest lap for him with 2:08.5, but can't match the 2:82 from Kevin. How close is he to Wiggy now? A lot closer. One lap. Star Group's got to hold out. Can he? Kevin's in that slipstream now, so Star Group's got to find a way to either keep him behind, or does he let him? Does he slow up a little bit and let him make the move with the slipstream, so he can come back at him further on in the lap, maybe with his own slipstream, or does he just say, "Sod it, I'm trying to stay ahead, do what you can"? So he's gonna, if he can make it up the hill, then he should be able to stay ahead. Obviously depends on what Kevin does in terms of trying to make a move, but they're heading up towards turn 1. The gap's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as we head towards turn 1 for what will be the last time today. There is literally only 30 seconds left of this race. Is the move on? He's gone round the outside. Wiggy defending on the inside. Does he make the move? He does make the move round the outside. They touch very briefly. Kevin makes that move and makes it stick. What an overtake that was. Round the outside of turn 1 and into turn 2. Stargroup's got to try and come back at him now. He's tucked under that wing. It is Sylvia versus Sylvia. This is all about driver ability. What can Stargroup do at this stage? He can stick with him. Is there going to be an opportunity for an overtake? That's the thing. That is probably the best part of the racetrack for an overtake. The slipstream, is it going to be strong enough? I suppose it depends how quickly you come out of the last turn. That is going to be key. If he can get a really good exit or a better exit out of the final turn and he's this close, he just may stick it on the line. And we've seen it happen here before. This racetrack just brings some of the best races we have at Blackflow. There's been some great races. And I think every time we've raced here, there has been some sort of last lap on the line action. And I think who has finished? Nobody has finished. Everyone is still racing. Stonecutter is waiting for the time to cut down so he can cross the line and finish it in 13th place. But this battle's still raging on. We don't really want to lead this battle. Cool Running's still holding on for 4th place. How close is Fubar? 2.7 seconds. That's not close enough. Stargroup looking for anything, any way through. Is there a chance for him? He's tucked in under that wing. He's going to pull out and have a go. Is it going to be on for him? He's got the pace. He pulls out. They are side by side here. Where is he going to finish? He's up into 2nd. Can Kevin hold him off? No, he can't. Stargroup steals 2nd on the very last lap. Literally within yards of the line, he steals 2nd. What a finish from him. Stormfly wins this race by 9.5 seconds. Stargroup nicking it back on the line to finish 2nd. Kevin finishing in 3rd. Cool Runnings comes home in 4th. You remember the tyres? Got it right this time. Fubar, good finish for him in 5th place, but still a top 3 eludes him. Aussie Rooster in 6th. Couple of places down from his result in race number 1. Bandit will bring that BMW home, lead BMW home in 7th place, with Manxman coming in behind in 8th. Jay, not a great race from him this time, out in 9th. Nick John Baker brings that BMW home in 10th, 7.2 seconds back. Then it is Ghost coming home in 11th place. Grizz Troopers will come home in 12th, and Stonecutter will come home in 13th place, or did come home in 13th place, so not will, because he did. So what a finish that was. Stormfly dominated, but Stargroup nicking that on the line, right at the death. And when I'm sure when Kevin made a fantastic overtake in turn 1 on the previous lap, round the outside into turn 1. To take 2nd after, to be fair, not having a great race up until that stage. And but Wiggy held on. Wiggy stuck with him, didn't let him pull away, used the slipstream to his advantage, got a great exit out of the final corner, and just drag raced him to the line and nicked that 2nd place for some juicy points, and just to kind of negate finishing behind him in race number 1. But this is actually the first race in GR4 Lottery where Kevin hasn't won at least one of the races. Stormfly is the dominant party today. How about that? That was an absolutely fabulous race. So that's it. That is GR4 lottery done until after Christmas. We won't be here next Monday. We will all be sitting on our couches watching Christmas films and eating turkey sandwiches. We will certainly not be doing GR4 Lottery live. We're back on the 2nd of January for more action from the GR4 Lottery. So basically Merry Christmas. But that's not all the action for the rest of this year for Black Flag Racing. We are back tomorrow. The LNR Late Night Racing on F1 2022. They've moved into their Christmas break, but they've got a little one-off Formula 2 tournament happening tomorrow evening, and that will be here live from 8:45. And then we're back on Wednesday with the GR3 Open, which is, I can't remember what racetrack we're at. I'm not going to look up because I can't be asked. But that happens on Wednesday evening. And then that's it. And then pretty much nothing going on then until after Christmas. So catch you guys tomorrow. But there is your winner, Stormfly. Absolutely dominant today, without question. The league tables will be updated pretty much straight away. Not much else to say other than thank you for joining me. I've been Empire. This has been Black Flag Racing TV here on Gran Turismo 7 with the GR4 Lottery Season 2 Round 3. And there is your winner, the very dominant today, Stormfly VR46. Catch you tomorrow for Late Night Racing.